We always try to be active there. So if you have any other questions that you might not be brave enough to speak about in public, but you'd like to ask us, you can also follow us and, talk to us there. So the question is, why do men ghost women? Yeah. We actually got about 3 people who kind of asked about the ghosting thing, and we're like, okay, yeah, we're going to have to address it. So maybe you can,
It actually happens for a multiplicity of reasons. It could be that it's for self-preservation purposes.
Right.
So sometimes, when you meet a girl and you're in that season of your life where you don't know where your life is, whether you're coming or going.
Right.
And she's got everything sorted out and figured out. So you're like, I don't think this is going to work. So a lot of people then disqualify themselves. A lot of men disqualify themselves. And so it then takes one's emotional intelligence to say, listen, let's actually have a candid conversation where I tell you, listen, I'm sorry, it's not you, it's me, but it's over, right?
Yeah.
And when it happens that way, people don't always believe it, but it's self-preservation sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes also it's just a lack of emotional intelligence. If I refuse to take responsibility for the actions that I engage in, for example, and you're somebody that calls me out all the time, then I decide, let me duck. Or if I actually don't have the emotional capacity to have a discussion with you to say, listen, I'm a little bit worried about whether this is actually going to work out or not. And then I just decide, let me dip, right? So it's a whole lot of reasons, but for me, it speaks to sometimes self-preservation. Sometimes you're trying to avoid hurting the next person. But I want to just encourage the gents. Guys, it's okay to tell them it's not working out. Ne? It's also okay sometimes when we don't measure up to say, listen, I actually don't measure up. It's also okay to say, listen, you intimidate me maybe. You've got everything figured out. I'm still trying to figure myself out. And ladies, I gave you a cheat code earlier on. I said it would be prudent to find someone or to be with someone that at the very least, has an idea of who they are and what their life purpose is. Because if you're sorted and I'm not, and I'm supposed to be partly the leader in this relationship, then obviously it's going to be intimidating on my end, and I'm going to duck.
I think she needs to write a book called The Cheat Code to Life. Because my cheat code is a lot. I got a cheat code. So I want to ask, ladies, is there anybody who's been ghosted? Or guys, is there somebody who's ghosted a woman lately? Don't be shy. You've been ghosted before. Please tell them. Tell them they're lying. Just tell us your name.
Hi, my name is Andiswa. I've been ghosted before, numerous times. It's not nice.
Why do you think you were ghosted?
I don't know, to be very honest. Especially when a person approaches you, it's not like I'm the one who's approaching you and say, hey, let's start something. You're the one who's approaching me, and it does leave your mind a little bit twisted. You start assessing yourself, and you look back to what are the things that you used to say and do and think, oh my gosh, what is it that I've done wrong? But then I've had an instance where I was ghosted, and then the person comes back, and then they do it again, and then I'm like, then the problem is them. It's definitely not me, because they are trying to see whether they can try and get into my life on their own terms. And then that's where you say, ngiyambloka lo muntu, because it's not worth your time at the end of the day.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Gents? Wow. The way you pointed at him was like, you blocked me and here you are at the same show. Here, this one. How you doing, brother? Welcome to your name, please.
I'm George Stefan. Yes, I ghosted someone not long ago. I think
We have a ghost.
sometime last year. So we went for the first date, and when we seated on the table, I had, I think, 20 questions written in my phone. And she didn't have none. No question at all. And I said, ask me something about myself. She said, no. It's okay. I will learn to know you with time. And then the person was just drinking and drinking and drinking. and the bill came out, it was 5,500.
Way.
And when I look what I had on that thing, it was just, I think, 300 rand from myself. And I said, okay, let me give her another chance for a second date.
Big mistake.
It was the same story. And then I said, okay, let me give the third chance. Now on the third one, before even the third one, I received a call. She said to me, can you give me 60,000 rand?
Way.
I really need it urgently today. I said, sorry, how much? 60,000. And then I said, okay, let me think about it. And then the next day she called me. She was so angry. Oh, I'm in need. I need to put that money in my business. I came to you. You didn't do anything about it. And after that call, she was blocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was blocked.
No, she deserved it.
Yeah.
I think we all agree with that blocking, brother. And as much as we all agree with you regarding the blocking, I think it's also quite critical that from the get-go, if you're sitting with somebody, I think we live in quite an expressive time.
Yep.
I would like to believe, right? Where even if you are sitting with me and you're drinking quite frantically, I can ask and be like, is this a regular thing of yours? Or, you know what I mean? And even at the end of that, if I don't like that, because it sounds like that you didn't find that attractive at all. And if you don't, I think it's all right to be like, look, this was great, but I don't find this attractive, and this is not, I think, what I'm really into.
Yeah.
And you're a very gentle person. I'd be like, listen, you're gonna pay for what you drank. I'm gonna pay for my 3 clipper. You can tell I represent the Stingy Men's Association. Let's bring it back to you, Fred.
Okay, Leroy, I just wanted to speak on behalf of a friend, right? About the ghosting. I had this conversation with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago. And their reason for ghosting was that they weren't really sure about the person that they were with. So, 2 things to do. The first is leave without telling the person that you're going to leave.
Yeah.
Go out there, look for something else. If it's nice, you stay there. You know, it's like pretty much leaving an open door. So if it doesn't work out for him where he's going, it's quite easy for him to just come back and say, hey, look, I was going through things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we all have different strategies, don't we now? But I think that, that individual deserved to be blocked. The mere fact that the level of investment was not the same, you coming with 20 questions speaks to the level of investment and your commitment to trying to get to know a person and probably try and date for a reason, right? Clearly, they were there for the drinks and the money. So that's essentially what it was about. I also think it's important, though, that from the onset, we obviously be honest. But I should caution, this does not mean if you're honest, people are going to be honest with you, right? But the one thing you always have to do is to trust your gut. People also don't seem to understand the relationship between our gut and our spirit itself. When you feel something is off, it probably is. Regardless of how beautiful the story that's been painted is, if there are red lights that you're seeing, chances are you should actually take that seriously and try and investigate. And ladies, we all know you are all qualified FBI agents. So I guess a lot of ladies are covered in this regard. I worry about us as gents because maybe we're not as thorough when it comes to investigating women, right? And there are also women that have the mindset of a guy, so they're also quite good at, covering things up and. But trust your gut at all times and look at the level of investment. That's important. In his case, it was evident what she was there for. There are no questions there. So all the best to all those that are still going to date. Less ghosting, more intentional dating, please.
Yeah, stop asking for money please on by the
Yeah.
second date. Yeah, I mean, I often hear a
Leroy,
lot of gents complaining
there's
about
actually
it.
one thing I had forgotten.
Yes.
Sometimes people ghost you because they don't want to tell